I was feeding cute ducks when 3 men jumped out in ghillie suits and pointed weapons at me. They looked like living moss in the shape of people, and one of them screamed at me, "Get on the ground, now!" The duck feed I had specially bought slipped through my shaking fingers. I said, "Get on the ground." Someone from behind grabbed my arms and kicked my knees forward. My face was pushed into the ground, and finally I came to my senses. What's happening? You're trespassing on government property. My grandfather had warned me about this. His farm bordered a military base, but there was no fence between the properties. During dinner on the first day I had come to stay with him, he told me, "They train new recruits over there who don't know about my farm. Just don't go past the line of willow trees and you'll be fine." The willow trees were past the duck pond, and yet I was not fine. I had my hands tied behind my back and was doing my best to keep my voice from shaking. "I haven't trespassed onto anything. This is my grandfather's farm." "Search her," one of the recruits said, steadily aiming, while another patted me down. "Nothing, sir." "Hey, do you hear me? This is my grandfather's property. You are the ones trespassing." "That's enough." The recruit beside me finally took off his face covering. "Thompson, radio and what we found." My heart was pounding hard enough to make my vision blurry. Why wouldn't they listen? Why were they still pointing their weapons at me? If I screamed, would my grandfather hear it? I hated that I could feel tears streaming down my face when I had done nothing wrong. "Please, just call him. My grandfather will explain everything." They ignored me. I listened as one used a brick of a radio to claim they caught a potential threat to the base. My blood ran cold when I heard the response. "Keep them detained and record anything they say. Be there in 10. Thompson then looked up from the radio at the recruit next to me. "Sir, the commander will be here in 10. I'm not deaf, Thompson. It was clear by now that the one next to me was the ringleader. "Banksy, set up the night cam. We'll use that. We're going to have a little interview." Ringleader grabbed my arm and jerked me into a sitting position. "Why are you on our base?" "I'm not. You know what's going to happen when the commander gets here? Your ass is going to get locked into solitary confinement till you rot. Or, you tell me what you're doing here and who sent you." "I was feeding ducks." "Sir, I can confirm the bag says food for ducks and other livestock." "Shut up, Banksy." At this point, I was certain I was talking to a set of real-life stooges. Only these had ammo. "I'm not lying. You are standing on a farm." Ringleader scoffed. "What farm? Aren't you supposed to grow things on farms?" He gestures at the land surrounding us. "My grandfather owns sheep and cows. They're just on the other half of the property right now." "Oh, how convenient. If you don't start talking, my hand might slip, and you could end up with a black eye. Or worse." "Sir, I don't think we can do that." Ringleader shot his hand up to silence Thompson. "If she's a terrorist, I doubt we'll get in trouble. Heck, we might even get a medal." The 2 other recruits looked uneasy, but didn't show any signs of helping me. The tears stopped, and I was too terrified to speak. "Not talking, huh? Let's fix that." Ringleader held his weapon like a bat and raised it over his shoulder. "The hell you think you're doing, Daniels?" Ringleader freezes, and I look over to see an old man wearing a uniform step out of what looked like a military-grade golf cart. The stooges stand at attention and salute. Ringleader points to me. "Commander, this is the trespasser in question, sir." Before the commander responds, someone else gets out of the golf cart. "Grandpa." My grandfather ran to me, asking what was going on. I immediately tell him and the commander everything. This time, it was the stooges' turn to stand there shaking. The commander turns to them. "Do you know where you 3 knuckleheads are?" Ringleader answered. "We were following our map for a training exercise." "Were you reading it upside down, maggot? You're standing on this man's property." The stooges' faces turned white. I found out later that the commander and my grandfather had become good friends over the years. And since these recruits made this mistake, my grandfather and I now spend our days drinking tea and watching the stooges work his farm for him, completely for free.